Marco's podcast. It's the greatest mattress industry podcast on the planet. Wait, isn't this the only mattress industry podcast?
What do you think? Check out my shirt. Where's your shirt, man?
You didn't tell me. I said, should I bring my Nationwide shirt? You're like, no. And now I know why, because you wanted to be the only one wearing it. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Usually you have a whale on your shirt.
It's just black today.
Hey, by the way, did you know people sent me those emails from the last podcast? And they put Lord Quinn in the email subject line.
Because they wanted free tickets to the Furniture Today Bedding Conference.
Yeah, we hooked him up.
Yeah, well, there you go. We got more on that, so watch Facebook page. But today, Kinsley, Nationwide Marketing Group, well, really cool thing, in case you remember and you didn't know this, which you probably knew it already, but if you're not a member, maybe it's compelling. You can go be a member, and right now, these guys were way ahead of their time because maybe they knew something was coming, but they have all their training for all their manufactured products. So it could be anything from Traeger grills to Sealy, Serta Bedding, that they have all this great training online. You can go and literally educate yourself and become an expert on those product categories through the training seminars. And you can go and actually they gamified it. So you can get points.
Win prizes,
go to dinner just by learning. And when you learn, you give yourself.
Did you say win prizes and go to dinner?
Win prizes so that you can go to you get a gift card. You can go to dinner.
You go to dinner.
You get a
gift
gift
win
card.
the free chicken dinner.
You win the free chicken dinner.
Winner chicken dinner.
And if you're educating yourself, then you become better on the sales floor, right? Because you know more about the products. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. So head over to nationwidegroup.org. If you are a member, you can hop in and make sure you're taking advantage of the training. Now's a great time to do it as business has changed, as people have time in their days. Definitely invest in training, because when somebody does come into the store, they're seeking expert advice. They want to know they're doing business with somebody who can actually help them. And if that confidence and that trust is there and that product knowledge is there, someone's going to think to themselves, wow, if they know this much about the products they're selling, they're confident in it, they're going to take care of me if something happens.
Why would you go somewhere else to shop?
Why would you go
if you
somewhere
got that?
else?
That's experience. Another thing is Podium. Do you know Podium?
Podium.
A new sponsor for the Dos Marcos podcast. Podium is actually a nationwide sponsor, or they sell to nationwide members, and they're crushing it, Kinsley. It is an incredible place to go. It's a messaging platform. Now you can even pay. They've got $13 million of sales racked up through over 135 mattress retailers already. So when you were doing a lot of the Zoom calls, I was away on family business, but people kept telling you, right, that Podium was a huge solution for that.
So Podium is the ultimate messaging platform. Number one, reviews, chat, text messaging, social conversations, and messaging all in one dashboard. But the thing was this, so the amount of inquiries that were coming through mattress retailer websites, back in early 2020, it was about 3,000 or 4,000 inquiries through web chat, for example,
right,
or text messaging. That went from 3,000 or 4,000 to 50,000. And the people that were able to chat with their customers, able to follow through with their customers through chat, through text, through a variety of messaging options that their customers wanted to use, those are the ones that continued to close sales to the tune of $13 million processed. And here's the really cool thing. And this seems so simple. You might even say to yourself, how does this work? Text messaging a link where somebody can complete a transaction. So imagine this. Here's the scenario. You walk into a store during COVID, for example, you might be the only person in the store because you're there on an appointment. You leave, but before you leave, the high quality salesperson says, I'm going to send you a text message link with all the information about the products that you're interested in. And you can simply click that message link to pay. And if you do that, you pay, you don't have to go back to the store. You can schedule delivery. You can continue texting with your person, because it's, texting is one-to-one. You can pay, you can complete the transaction. Consumers don't have a clean, simple path to purchase these days. And Podium has just opened up. You see people's eyes light up when they talk about Podium and what it's done for their business.
It's true.
And how it not only did something for their business during COVID, how it's stuck. So you got to head over right now. You can use the starter system, podium.com/DOS, DOS. So you don't type in Marcos. I know we're Dos Marcos, but we want to make it simple. So podium.com/dose to get started for free.
For free. Yeah, they have some components. If you use Dose, if you go to that landing page, specifically, that's where you get the free stuff. And don't take Kinsley's word for any of what he just said. You got to go to the site for yourself. Not that he's lying or anything, but they say it better. No offense.
I was the one that was on the campfire calls, and I was the one who heard what people were saying. So you could take Quinn's word, or you could take my word.
Or you can go to podium.com/dose and see it for yourself.
So I did not tell you the story about Dr. Sheri Peck.
You started to tell me this.
I can't believe I didn't tell you this.
Okay.
So
how is Sheri, by the way?
Sheri's doing great. So
we miss Sheri. We haven't talked to her in a while.
She is at Mattress Firm in Florida. And she called me the other day and she said we had invited her to the campfire conversations. We did. And Sheri wasn't able to make it. So she gave me a phone call. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Shari, Sheri Peck. And she told me this story about she had gotten married. Yeah. And her husband was a pilot for Southwest Airlines. Okay. He is a pilot for Southwest Airlines. And so during the COVID shutdown, her husband started working out with her. And she likes CrossFit, does a lot of like high intensity interval training. She's in great shape. And she just loves this. And she does it out on the beach.
She's a doctor, so she's like dialed into all of that.
Right. So she was telling me that they were out on the beach, and after a few days, he was really short of breath. And he was having a hard time. And at first she thought, oh, he's not in good shape. He likes to run a little bit, but it was clearly there was something more to it than that. And so she called a doctor friend of hers and eventually ended up meeting with a cardiologist because he was having heart issues, it felt like. Oh. They actually got him in there and they shoot the dye up in your body to try to figure out if you have any blockages. He had a full-on widowmaker. And he ended up having to go in for full open heart surgery. Oh. And again, he's a pilot for Southwest Airlines.
Caught it just in time kind of thing?
Not only caught it just in time, had COVID not happened, he would still be flying. And if they hadn't been literally grounded, he probably never would have done the high intensity interval training that he did. Yep. And would have never figured out that he's having major shortness of breath and some palpitations and some issues like that. And so Sheri was telling me that she was literally nursing him back to health, and he was on the path to being fully mended and well, and eventually, start flying again. But I just thought it was an amazing story, and I really appreciated Sheri reaching out and telling us that story. And we're so happy that you're doing well and your husband is doing well.
She's been a friend of the show for a long time. So, well, good for you. Thank you for sharing that, Sheri. Glad things are okay, and your husband got treatment. That's a big deal.
And it reminded me of
something positive that came out of this crap
totally
show.
Positive.
Right. Okay.
You're 100% right.
Okay.
And I've heard a lot of stories like that, by the way, since talking to Sheri. But it made me think of her and to make sure and share the story on the podcast, because we have another Sheri.
Sheri McGuire. Hello, Sheri McGuire.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Mark.
Yes. And we have Gregg Schweir. Got it right, didn't I, Greg?
You got it right. That's perfect. Thanks.
Kinsley gave me no chance of actually getting your name pronounced correctly. So for the record, I'd like it to show I did that.
And your Sheri spelled Sheri, and Greg spelled Gregg.
Correct.
And we are Markallen. Both of us. Yeah.
We both had the same first name and middle names.
Wow. Okay. That's a little unique.
Yes.
But different moms.
Greg, I can't tell you how many times people have looked at us and said, that's unique.
I don't think it's the name thing they're talking about. But anyway, we've got these guys on from SSB today. Thank you guys for making time. We love that you're here. We want to talk to you guys, lots to cover, but with the COVID virus happening today, you guys have created a unique solution to that, working with a company called HeiQ, right? And you're going to tell us about that today. And it's a ticking called Viroblock. So the treatment to this ticking allows it to be 99.9% effective in combating the coronavirus. So can you guys kind of tell us about it a little bit? Number one, how did you kind of come across it and come into a partnership with HeiQ to kind of bring it to the mattress industry?
Absolutely. So I'll kick it off. HeiQ has been a long-term partner of SSB and our innovation team. We've worked with them on a number of fronts with new innovation. HeiQ is based out of Switzerland, but they have manufacturing operations and they also have representatives located globally. But we initiated this partnership in light of the current situation due to the fact that we knew that HeiQ had done work in this area in terms of creating a solution that potentially could address and provide a comfort, a means of comfort and a hygienic solution with their Viroblock technology. And so it was through our previous partnership and engagement and work that we've been doing over the years with HeiQ that fast-tracked us down this pathway.
And tell people about the technology, how it works, where you're going to be putting it in the world. Is it primarily going to be seen in hospitality? Are retailers going to see this technology in products they carry in stores? Give us the lay of the land there.
Okay, I'll jump in from the.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'll jump in from a high level, and then Sheri can talk about how it works. But from a strategic perspective, SSB is we obviously going to start in the hospitality industry. We want to, that's an industry that's under attack as well and has some challenges with people wanting to sleep there and stay. And this is a great technology that will enable them to give people comfort and confidence in their bedding. So that's where we'll start, is in the hospitality industry, and then we will have a series of rollouts, over the next few months to really provide it to all consumers and retailers that we do business with, and just keep it going, because I think it's going to be one of those technologies that is really going to become a requirement of the industry. So we're leading the way, and we want to continue to lead the way with our innovation and stay on top of this type of technology.
Greg, is this exclusive to SSB, or is HeiQ going to launch that same kind of tech with other people?
We have some exclusivity up front, and then we'll have to work through the next phase of that as we go forward.
So I guess just to add on to that, SSB does have exclusivity in the US and Canada for application, for mattress application and use. And so we will be able to own that exclusivity on the upfront in the US.
Sheri, take us into how this works. I'm gonna pop this up. If you're watching on Facebook or on video, you can see the screen here. But it kind of lays out just kind of a high level visual on this. But describe to us how this works.
Absolutely. So Viroblock is actually a finished treatment that is applied to the outermost layer of the mattress, so i.e. the textile layer, the panel fabric, and it is actually applied upstream during our fabric manufacturer's process. And so as part of their process, the treatment is applied, and it is then cured into the textile, meaning that it becomes a permanent solution to the textile fabric. So the outermost layer of our mattress and your mattress would have the Viroblock technology permanently adhered to the fibers within that mattress system.
How do they do that? Is it a heat they apply, or how do they bake it in there?
So the Viroblock itself is a liquid chemistry that is then, from a process perspective, it goes through a finish bath and is applied to the panel fabric. It then enters a process where it is dried and cured. And so it's an oven of sorts that then adheres and dries the chemistry to the textile as part of that finishing process.
You said initially this is going to focus on the hospitality industry. Take us through kind of the way that this would interact with other elements in bedding. So the sheets, possibly a mattress protector. How does that interact? Because I was thinking about, maybe the sheets create a barrier. If a hotel uses a mattress protector, I don't see a lot of hotels using mattress protectors these days. But how let's just go with the sheets. How would it interact with the sheets, with that barrier and that other layer at play?
Okay. So I guess just as for starters, it's important to understand that viruses and bacteria are nano and micro in terms of size, the particle sizes of viruses and bacteria. And so most sheets, most protectors that may be on a mattress or any type of other layers of sorts typically are very porous, and the construction of those allow viruses and bacteria to penetrate and go through those sheets. And once they come into contact with that outermost layer of a mattress, they literally within minutes, the Viroblock is very effective to kill and destroy either virus and or bacteria. That is the crux of this particular technology, different than other technologies, is it in fact does work and does address both bacteria and virus. And in light of the current situation, viruses is really key.
So Sheri, would it be as effective or more effective if you have a protector on your bed, because retailers like to sell protectors as add-on sales? So would it be better if you had a protector treated with HeiQ, because it's closer to the top of the bed, right? So you have the protector on top of the mattress, then you have a sheet, normally fitted sheet, and then you have the consumer. So is it the closer to the consumer, the better?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately what we're seeking is to keep your mattress hygienic, clean, and a safe place to continue to sleep and be able to sleep comfortably without the concern that there's bacteria or that there's virus harbored there on the sleep surface.
And I guess so, if you think about the way that this normally works, the sheets are going to go to laundry where they're going to get washed and disinfected. Right. And so it's the mattress that remains static within a hotel room. You can't take it in and out, put it through some sort of process.
Yep.
So Gregg, take us into, Gregg, you're the head of innovation with SSB. You've been on the job a solid 4 weeks. So you're getting your sea legs by now. But take us into, as you look at this kind of as a category and as a topic of conversation that could cascade down to retail, are people in the retail space going to start to see more of this type of technology or this issue kind of bubbling up at the consumer level? I think hospitality, it's almost like a no-brainer. But once you get down to the consumer level, what do you think people are going to start seeing?
Well, we're definitely going to roll this out across, all of our brands and really into down to this retailers and our stores as fast as we can. But I think the key is consumers. This is going to just continue to be an awareness, and the nice thing about it is it's embedded in the mattress coverings. And you're right. If people take the sheets off, they take things off, they wash them, they clean them, they can do that. But the mattress is stationary, so this chemistry allows that to really exist and coexist in that sleep ecosystem and make it really strong, a strong, I'll say, selling opportunity as well as just a safety perspective. And so I think if anything, if consumers or dogs or whatever they find where something brings it into the home and it does get on the surface, but then because of the particulate size, it goes through that, this will obviously destroy it, which is fantastic. So I think in our world, the way things are starting to accelerate with the fears and the concerns about different viruses and microbial surface, antimicrobial surfaces, and all the things that we're using on our hands and everything. It's just really a good opportunity. I think as we look at innovation across our business, I think we're continually trying to reinvent ourselves, because the mattress business is one where, we're really trying to help people be healthy and have great, and really get the sleep they need to live the lives they want, right? So you want to wake up healthy, you want to wake up rested and have reinvigorated, right? So I think this is one of those peace of mind type things too, as well as it can help keep you from getting or viruses or any bacteria back onto the body or into your breathing.
I think that's going to be a huge deal too. Just the peace of mind that comes along with knowing, hey, I'm in a clean environment. Every measure has been taken to ensure that this sleep space is sanitized. People are going to have a hard time sleeping in a strange place, I think, for a certain amount of time. You've had to travel some.
I have.
What was it like?
I have. And so you are a little more aware. So they're not cleaning rooms, as an example. So they're not coming into your room. I don't know if you guys have been in hotels. So I thought about that. And then, of course, I thought about the bed for sure. And you know what this made me think about? Even when you're laying on floor samples in a store. So there are people that are coming up with some solutions like a thin layer, a sheet, protective sheet that you can lay on, and then it's disposable. But I like this for that too, because if you knew as a consumer that the mattress was actually the ticking was treated with something like this, then it would give you a little bit more peace of mind, which brings up a question for me. Like, what is the efficacy, Sheri, of this? So how long will this treatment actually last on the ticking and still be effective?
Great question. So if you'll think back on my earlier comment around the way that the technology is applied and it becomes a permanent solution of sorts to the mattress and to the panel fabric, the efficacy for the antimicrobial aspect, antibacterial aspect is greater than 20 years. And then in terms of the antiviral, at the moment, the testing that has been completed will show up to 3 years antiviral protection, where we expect that it will go longer than that, but the testing that has been conducted thus far does show at least up to 3 years, but we do anticipate that potentially will go longer.
Have you considered this, and Gregg, actually it's probably for you too, as a competitive threat? So some of the top of bed guys doing this on a protector, which I'm sure they're all thinking about that anyway. And so if you were to treat a protector and then that kind of thing got washed in a washing machine, what would the efficacy be on something like that? Have you done that work?
Yes, we have. We actually have several partners on the accessory front. And in conjunction with HeiQ, that testing work has been done from a durability perspective and a washability perspective for those types of goods, like protectors or like sheets. And at the moment, the testing would show that launderability or washability is up to 20 plus washings. And so, again, very effective and is something that can be laundered.
So for you, that's like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it's maybe
just one for me. Right?
I haven't been in the same room with this person in how many months? Jab, jab,
I'm sorry. I could not help myself. I'll give you the floor now, since I was so horribly mean to you.
Well, give us kind of zoom out for a moment, and if you're wondering how many letters are in each person's name, it's Sheri McGuire with 1 R and one I, and it's Gregg Schweir with 2 G's and a Schweir at the end. That's my reset. So, I'm
trying to figure out where you're.
So I'm doing a reset. So Sheri,
I'm looking at how you spell Viroblock and like how somebody is going to swing into some connection.
So Sheri is the Vice President of Advanced Technology. She leads the Alpha Innovation team with SSB, and Gregg is the head of innovation and new to the mattress industry, coming this way from the furniture category though. So Sheri or Gregg, either whoever wants to take this one, jump ball. what is the headline at retail that RSAs and salespeople, retail managers can tell consumers? Like, what can they confidently and accurately tell consumers at this point? Or is there a wait on some sort of FDA approval?
And legally.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have retail managers and trainers get into this very quickly. What can we actually say?
Sheri, you want to go?
I'll take a first stab at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so from an SSB perspective, we are focused on delivering good quality sleep. And at the end of the day, if we can make the consumer comfortable that one less thing that they have to worry about is that their mattress is not clean, that their mattress may be harboring some type of bacteria or something else. Ultimately, that's what we're after. This is the first step in taking our mattresses to the next level to deliver that peace of mind for both consumers, for travelers, in hospitality, hotels. We're looking at it across a number of fronts. And so from that perspective, I would say, first and foremost, we're looking at delivering just a good night's sleep such that the last thing you have to worry about is getting sick from your mattress.
So as it relates to it, though, are you able to say legally that it will kill 99.9%? I read that in the press release, that it will kill the virus 99% dead if it comes in contact with the tick. Are you going to be able to say that?
So we are currently working with FDA and EPA on the specific level of claims and the testing that's required to substantiate those types of claims. And so that work is still pending, but we do have information through our partner HeiQ that does suggest that this technology Viroblock does deliver against COVID and SARS type viruses at a 99.99% effective rate.
I think, thematically, we're going to see a lot more of this language emerge as the technology emerges.
Correct.
And so I understand we might be a little bit early in the process, but when we see things start to bubble up, we want to make sure and, hop on board, talk about these things and bring them to the surface so that we have time as an industry and people have time at retail to process these things and how they're going to be able to effectively and accurately talk about them to consumers. So totally hear what you're saying, Sheri, about, this being something that's focused on comfort and peace of mind. And then as the EPA and the FDA results do take shape, we'll know more, it sounds like. Absolutely.
In terms of how specific and, exactly the verbiage that goes around the types of claims that we can make. I did want to hit back on a point that I think that Gregg raised early on in our conversations around SSB's focus really being driven at the consumer level. And that is also the case for this particular technology, where the types of claims, what's really important for the consumer, that work is being done by our marketing teams and driven and led by our marketing teams in terms of what language truly does resonate with consumers and what aspects of the Viroblock technology are deemed critical and important to a consumer. And so we're running, again, parallel paths where we're doing that claims testing work from a language perspective, simultaneous with the path of the legal aspects and the governmental agency approval pieces.
I see what you're saying too, Sheri, about working with other people in terms of top of bed solutions, because I would think, I don't know the science of it, but if a human comes to bed with COVID or something else and lays in their bed, they're going to immediately interact with their top sheet, and then right below that, the protector, and then below that, the mattress. So,
right.
I mean, you could certainly see how having that, that same treatment on the sheet or the protector would work very well in concert with, the fact that you're having that same shield on the mattress itself. So is that kind of where you're going with that? I mean, would it just be like double, triple assurances there?
Absolutely. Actually, we're starting, as Gregg again mentioned earlier, the hospitality area. That's where we've initiated our bundling, I'll call it, of various accessory products in combination that use the Viroblock technology in combination with our mattress product that also will have the Viroblock.
I can't take this opportunity I can't miss the opportunity, I should say, to ask about what else is happening behind the scenes. When we had the head of innovation, we had the VP of advanced technology. Give us a little more. What's happening? What are we going to see?
Fill the juice jar.
What's
SSB doing right now?
That's
I want to
right.
hear about this more innovation.
Now we're going to really grill the crap out of you guys. So get ready. We were mildly interested in the Viroblock. Now we're going to really.
I've got a hard stop.
Yeah, right. Oh, wait, it's my child.
We're really
It's sick.
breaking
I hear
up here.
that.
The Zoom's all
Connection.
Now the connection's terrible. No, I think we're just going to continue to really focus on meeting the needs of the consumer. And we have obviously a tremendous focus on, helping consumers restore during sleep, your body's restoring so many energies and aspects of it to help you sleep comfortably. Obviously heat is a big factor, keeping the body temperature correct, helping you with the whole environment of the room, and really helping you get the rest you need. And I think, so we'll look at a lot of things that will help you, not only peace of mind, but in interacting with you in the total sleep process and sleep ecosystem. So I think you'll see a lot of innovation from SSB. We have a tremendous outreach with our suppliers. We have incredible partnerships that are going to continue to build on a couple of these key things. Obviously, sustainability is in our DNA, and we have a lot of thoughts around that and some technologies we're working there. And as well as a lot of this, I don't think this is going to leave us. I think we're going to have to be very aware of the environment and this virus and antimicrobial kind of environment is going to be around for a while. And I think the next generation of people, we really are going to have to connect with them too, because I think that's where sustainability is definitely in their vocabulary. We have to be good stewards of the planet, good stewards of what we do every day, and we love to help people get the rest they need and wake up feeling great and refreshed. And I think as we investigate more and more, biomechanics, chemistries, just a number of things that are going to help enable us to do that in the future. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been fantastic, kind of starting up with Serta Simmons and just the energy that the team has. The organization is just invigorated. Obviously, this was one they pivoted on quickly to make happen, and it's fantastic. And we have tremendous confidence that everything's going to be successful, and we're going to deliver a great product to the market. Obviously, we know that that hospitality industry needs us, and we want to help enable them. And then we want to build that into all of our consumer brands as well. So I think we have a great future ahead of us, and a lot of technologies that will enable that.
Gregg, I love talking to people with fresh eyes on our industry. Talk to us about the attraction you had to coming to work in the mattress business, but also give us some of the harsh realities of what you see us facing as a category and as an industry, and how you think we as an industry may need to respond.
I think so. Kind of coming into the industry, it's what attracted me to it was really talking to the team at the leadership team and the executive group at SSB. Just their passion for this business and helping people get the rest they need so that they can lead great lives and be great employees and great moms and dads, and kids can wake up and feel good when they go to school. And really how important it is to think about all aspects of that, whether, from sleep, health, obviously nutrition and exercise, and all those things that enable us to do the things we want to do. and just how important this leg of it is, because we spend about a third of our lives sleeping. So we really need to make sure that we're doing it well, and we're getting out of it what we need. So, and the number of people that I've just interacted with throughout my life that have had some issue with insomnia or sleep deprivation from some type of, I'll say, respiratory problems or back pain or a number of things, I think it's incredible. And I think we really have to take a stand and try to address those things and help personalize that bed. And I think that's kind of an end game is how do you personalize the mattress, the environment that every consumer is going to need to help them get to sleep the best way possible. And it can be dependent on so many factors. So we have to try to, one, understand all the factors, but then control the factors that we can't control, and really help you tune that into what makes you sleep and feel rested. So that's what attracted me to it. I think some of the biggest challenges for us are in the space of obviously chemistries and antiviral and antimicrobial type situations that we're going to have, and how we keep that room safe and that space that you're laying on safe. But I think it's also sustainability is a big opportunity, because I think we have to look at the materials we're putting into mattresses. The cradle to grave discussion, I think, is really important for us as an industry. As you know, and I think as the next generation comes up, they're gonna kind of demand that we do that. So I think we have to be really aware of it.
I agree with that. And as a matter of fact, I recently had a call with the Mattress Recycling Council just to get up to speed for my own knowledge on the state of mattress recycling in the states that have adopted it, and what the push looks like beyond Rhode Island, Connecticut, and California. And it was encouraging to see what was happening with mattress recycling in those states, but it was also discouraging for me to know the MRC is not charged with trying to get mattress recycling adopted within other states. They just service the states that have already pushed through that legislation.
Oh.
So that was kind of an eye-opener for me. So there needs to be a real ground game in different states for adopting mattress recycling. And I didn't realize that the MRC was not responsible for that. So I think it's going to be, like you talked about, Gregg, it's going to be material science. It's going to be construction of mattresses, but it's also going to be legislation, I think, that gets us to a spot where we're not putting 50,000 mattresses, I think, a day into landfills. Yeah. I calculated it for the state of Arkansas. I live in Bentonville.
Wow. And
it was 182,500 mattresses a year that were getting plopped into landfills. And if you talk to the people that run these dumps and these landfills, mattresses do not decompose, compress, or deteriorate naturally in any way that is really reasonable for a quick breakdown. It's a long multi-year cycle. So I think the innovation, sustainability, I know I want it, but I think we're going to have to rally around it as an industry and try to push it through at the state level.
You know, it'd be really cool if you could actually grow a mattress.
On a farm in England?
I'm just saying, if you had your own sheep and you could like shear them for the wool, and then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
that would be incredibly smart. So back to you, Sheri.
I like where you're going on that, Mark.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.
Whichever.
Yeah. So Sheri, forward look from you now on the material science side and technology. Where is it taking us? What kind of things are you hearing people talk about, and what's exciting as it looks from your perspective about our industry?
Right. No, I think a couple of things. I'll just add on to what Gregg has already highlighted, but for sure, we SSB are seeing sustainability, biodegradability, recyclability of various types of materials and componentry within the product, such that ultimately our goal would be that you can put a product into a landfill and it would biodegrade, for example. That ultimately would be one of our key initiatives and goals. We also are looking at, along that same vein, how do we simplify constructions? What alternative ways can we produce a mattress, build a mattress such that it is not as complex. It's a fairly complex build in most cases. And to get to some of these end games, it does mean taking a step back in our manufacturing and how we manufacture, and reassessing that process in order to make that end game achievable. So those two, I think, come hand in hand. And then and another key area and focus for us on the innovation side would be around performance materials and yarns and other types of chemistries. Other ways to deliver, again, they're right at the sleep surface typically, is a really key area. And we could be talking about different types of constructions. It could be using some really unique differentiated yarns. It could mean some other types of chemistries that have multiple types of benefits that, again, we could ultimately apply to the outermost layer of the mattress system.
Well, it's been fun talking with you both, because this is, like we mentioned early on, a theme we think that's going to emerge. I think there are going to be a lot of technologies and innovation in this space within the mattress business and beyond. And so we'll kind of keep our finger on the pulse of how these things are going to evolve and change. We would love to hear back from you, as the FDA, EPA process moves forward, and that language. I know you work in lockstep with the marketing team to make sure that, it's kind of palatable for the consumer and
right.
the message they can hear and understand. So
absolutely.
Thanks for taking time. And it's really nice to see some new faces. And Sheri, you've been in the business for, at least with SSB, for 13 years. And Gregg, you're brand new. So thank you both for your service to the category. Gregg, so far, I'm
not saying anything for Gregg yet. He hasn't done anything for me. He's just sat there on his Zoom call, as far as I can see. Sheri, thank you, though. No, I'm kidding, Gregg. I'm with Kinsley. I think it's awesome that you're in it. I'm glad that you're interested. Has Bob Hellyer been nice to you since you went to SSB? Have you met Bob yet?
Oh, man. Bob's incredible. Yeah.
He's been nice then? Okay. Just making sure.
He's doing really well. He's behaving and everything.
All right, Derek Miller, is he giving you any trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, he's been a handful, though.
You see, he and Melanie, you gotta.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, it's been great.
Right.
Well, it's been great having you both on the show. Thank you for your
Likewise.
time.
Thank you for taking time out to learn a little bit more about what we're doing on the SSB front. It's been fun.